Hi, question for you. What the crocodile hat is going on in Gavin Williamson's head? It has to be asked because there is still no standardization process. Standardization, that's all it needs to make sure that all schools are awarding grades in the same way. This is kids' futures that we're playing with. It's the futures that they've carefully designed. It's not like when we first started the education system hundreds of years ago, in which a standardized system was created, which created the same type of worker to keep the economy moving and to keep things just the same for everybody. Now we're in a world in which more is needed. You know, more skills, more soft skills, more process of being able to solve problems and technology skills. All of these things are needed, yet we're still in a system in which we can say things like head teachers just sign a declaration which says that the work has been assessed fairly and no pressure has been given by parents or students. Now, you've heard this from me before, because I feel like I'm repeating myself here. When are things going to change? When we raise up our voices and say that change is needed. That is when things are going to change. While we're accepting, then things don't need to, do they? Let's face it, it's not the teacher's fault. And heaven forbid, it's not even the head teacher's fault. They're just following guidelines. It's the guidelines' fault for not being clear. And we're creating a whole generation of kids who won't know whether they're coming or going, and will have to struggle even harder moving forward to recover from this system, which has taken away their exam years, provided them with grades which have to be artificial at best, because what are they based on? Past work, current work. You know, the triangular system adds a level of smoothness to it. Excuse me, allergies. It adds a level of smoothness to the system, but at the end of the day, the kids are feeling let down. This is the this is the process. Excuse me. This is the process that we're facing currently, and it has been in the news that even head teachers are currently feeling that this shouldn't go ahead, that something needs to be put in place to avoid the debacle that was last year. 1 year on, nothing's in place. What should we do? Come on, Gavin. Education Secretary, tell us, what should we do? The only thing we can do is help our kids to score some really high grades so that they can't be brought into doubt. That would be ideal. But let me tell you this. I'm going to give you a case study. And that case study is based on a student called Marva. And Marva came to me a solid grade 2 in geography. Grade 2, yes. In a 9-to-1 system, whereas 1 is the lowest, she came in at a 2. And her biggest problem was that she could not focus in the classroom. She had terrible nerves every time she was being assessed in any way. And she just couldn't connect with what she was trying to do at the end of her education. She couldn't put everything together because that's the way the system had worked through her life. So she's been working with us for maybe 2 years now, and she was so excited to come and tell me that in her last mock she got a 6. a 6. How fabulous is that? Her little face, I'll never forget it, when she just couldn't wait to get the words out. Now, that's fabulous for her, but now I had to sit her down and explain to her to move with the system taking into account past attainment as well as current attainment in the triangulation. She has to really get at least a 5 or a 6 in all of the other assessments through the year to bring her average up. Because if she's got a 2 and she's got 6, together the average doesn't sit well for what she wants to do in the future. I'm sure she can do it, but we need to remember that a grade has to be reached in some way. If we're looking at it like that, if somebody got a 2 last year and got a 6 this year, that doesn't mean that they're at the level 2, but it certainly also doesn't mean that they're at a level 6. It could mean, as I know, that she's learnt to manage her emotions, and now she's able to use her skills that we've given her, and she's taken on board so well. So 2, 6, average, she's a 3. Now if she could just get those 6s and 5s, it will gradually increase the average. Sorry for my big hands. She'll slowly increase her average, and we will be really working with her to make sure that happens. But I wanted you to be sure about how the system works so that you can encourage your kids to keep those grade levels high, and hope that at some point over the next few weeks I'm able to report to you that Gavin has actually issued some form of standardization guidelines that can make this system even feel more comfortable and feel more fair than it actually is. When will we be able to talk happily about education? I don't know. When Gavin gets the boot. Keep safe. Even though restrictions are up, still keep safe. Take care, and I will see you next week.